Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild countryside of Scotland, and in this adventure I've come to the incredible landscape of the Rocks of Solitude, which is located just kind of up towards Glen Esk from the village of Edzell here in the wild landscape of Scotland. And I'm just going to try and navigate these paths down to the river's edge. I've tucked in the trousers to the socks just in case there's any ticks within this grass running about. So there's an incredible network of paths here, and there's just an incredible amount of waterfalls and little river sections here carved out. It's like incredible rocks and cliffs carved out from the river as it flows down here, and I'm just looking for a route across this wild terrain. I might have to go down this way and then cut back up, but I can actually hear the ferociousness of the river down in the hollow. This is just a little summer evening walk here, and I was just in the local area, and I thought last time I came here it was probably like winter time when there was no leaves on the trees, and I love documenting these wild places like all times of year, and each time you visit it just looks so different. Here's a path here, I'll go this way. Check it out folks, this ancient wall has been built along here. Maybe an old track or pathway went along here in an ancient time. Check out the stones in front of us here. Last time I came, I think the river had been a lot higher than what it is today. I'm not sure if I'm going to even be able to get down this way. Wow, it's a proper steep slope. Surely nobody's been climbing down that way. So here we go folks, another adventure, documenting paradise right here. And it feels like something's just digging into my leg, like a bush or a tree. The landscape here is just like a picture postcard of Scotland. And I can see the river's pretty clear because we've not had a lot of rain. Areas like this and rivers are flowing pretty clear. Often after there's been like rain or whatever, the water becomes pretty brown and peaty. Yeah, look at this landscape folks, it's just carved from nature. And I love navigating my way around these places, seeing little corners of the world that's hardly explored. Unless you're a local to a place like this, you wouldn't even know it existed. It's almost like a natural wonder of the world when you can just see the steepness of this leading down into the deep water. Wow, look at this folks, I need to be so careful here, it's just steep and dangerous. Wow, I can just hear all the birds tweeting. And it's just a paradise landscape, the noise of the river flowing by. Every direction I look, it's just paradise. I think last year in one of the storms, a lot of these trees at the far side were getting blown down the hill. Because I remember I came here one time with a channel DJ and there was massive trees right across the river which had freshly fallen. Anyway, I'll head on further along this path. I'm wanting to go down beside one of the cool little waterfalls here. Wow folks, the scenery here is just like another world. This is the first time I've been here when the water's so clear and I can see the mad like bedrock seams under the water. And this is why I often go to different sorts of places at this time of year folks. Look how overgrown all this stuff's become here. There's hardly even a route around the edge of this river. The bushes and shrubs are so thick. In the winter you can just walk all over this place, but at this time of year it's just extreme. I'm going a secondary route here folks. I'm heading back the way I came slightly, and then I'm going to go to these rocks here and try and get down to the water's edge. If not, I'll have to go to a secondary location on this adventure, folks. Sometimes the landscape that I explore is just so mad. At this time of year, it's just like a jungle. The difference between the summer and the winter, it's just two extremes in this country. Sometimes the river water's so high, it's above my head height. At this height now, I can see the water just flowing away down between the rocks there, and what a scene. Just check this out, folks, it's so overgrown. I had to do it, folks. I had to fight through those bushes to get to the water's edge once again. And wow, I'm always just blown away by these incredible landscapes. This is just solid bedrock under my feet right here, carved by the water flowing over all the years. And look at it, we've made it to the waterfall here. Wow, what a special location this is, folks. I love the wild nature of Scotland like this. It's like so ferocious. Obviously in a storm, places like this are so incredibly ferocious. Days like today, it's a bit more calm. But probably if you fell in there, there would still be a serious amount of undercurrents in the water. So that's what these Scottish rivers are like. All the water's flow is going through that little narrow passage there. It's only like 2 feet deep. So you can imagine the currents. Wow, the roar from this waterfall is so cool. Yeah, we're going right down to the edge here, I think, folks. We've made it. This is such a paradise spot on a summer's evening like today. When I thought about stopping here, this is what I was imagining. Look at the clear water flowing over this waterfall into this churning cauldron where all the currents is bubbling back up at this side. And then this incredible, almost Jurassic looking world with the rock faces and the trees clinging onto their surface. The green of nature taking over the wild rock with the moss and the grass, and the roar from this waterfall is so incredible. Wow, I can hear it rumbling and churning like, and it's just mad to be this close to such a ferocious beast. If you fell in there, you'd be a goner. And I'm right at the edge of it right now. Here's a cool detail here, folks. Look at this, the old rock pool. This obviously is where the water swirls round when the tide's in. Look at the quartz on this stone here. I'm not even sure if that comes out. But it's actually glinting when the light hits it. But those pebbles are the thing that obviously makes that deeper and deeper as the water swirls around. Anyway, let's head on back. What a crazy spot that is, folks. I just love it. Yeah, there's even rock pools up on these higher rocks, so it just shows the river can often be ferocious for long periods, depending on the wet conditions or months. And then constantly over the years, there's always parts like breaking off these rocks and falling down. The landscape always changes, but I love coming here in the summer when it's like this and just seeing how it is. Other times I love coming in the winter, or even when there's a storm. And it's always like coming to a different place at those different times. Like, I just love seeing the way the river funnels through that small tiny section. It'll be super deep there and super dangerous. And if anybody does come to explore these areas, they do have to be super careful, because obviously on a wet day or whatever, these rocks will be slippy and you would just slide right down into the water. Look at this down here, there's like a cove in here with a little stream. It's probably that little stream that's actually warring this. A fish just jumped right in the middle. You can still see the circles on the water. Wow, that'll be a salmon or whatever making its way upstream. Salmon louping, maybe a trout. And the rock formations at that side are just incredible. It's like going to another planet, folks, and seeing a thing like this. This is almost what you would imagine the whole planet would look like before humans came. That mixture of raw nature and the greenery with all the trees. Just wildlife. And then at this side I can actually see evidence of the modern world we're in, with the wires from the pylon hanging across. Sometimes that's something like, if you're taking a picture, it's better to have a picture without any pylons and things in the frame. It looks more natural and raw, like this scene at this side. It's almost like a post-apocalyptic world scene here. Anyway folks, I'm way to head on back out of this incredible waterfall wonderland that I find myself in the middle of. And it is just like exploring a jungle at this time of year. All these waterways and the trees. And I'm just thinking what way I came up. I must have jumped up to here. Wow, we've done it folks, we've made it out there. That last section of path was just too extreme when I went down that way. I was just having to climb through like bushes and things like that. But I loved seeing that waterfall down there. Another bit of wild Scotland documented. Right folks, that's me back at my car just about. So I'm going to end this one here. It was so cool to explore that incredible river waterfall wonderland, and to document it at this crazy time of year when the landscape's like a jungle. Most explorers are off limits because it's just too overgrown, and when you do get to the history you can't even see it a lot of the time. Anyway, I'm ending this one here folks.